So the first thing is a ritual greeting. I say hello to the meadow and I tell them, hi, it's me, Larissa, again. I'm coming to visit like I would a friend. And then I just begin to walk and saying hello to the plants and the trees and any of the wildlife that I see. And I make my way up to the top of the meadow by the bench, which is where I usually kind of set up and begin to meditate and attune myself to the meadow, kind of just beginning to dream and commune with the meadow and the earth, and open myself up to receiving any messages or visuals or any kind of communication from the meadow. After that feels complete, then I will usually stand up and soften my gaze and just scan across the meadow, noticing the changes, both drastic and subtle, feeling the energy of the meadow. And then from there, I'll begin to start my harvest. I follow the Honorable Harvest rules by Robin Wall Kimmerer. Some of those guidelines just include only taking what I might need and use, never taking from just one solitary plant, only taking from something that feels abundant. The first thing is always asking for permission. So if I notice something and I feel called to it and it wants to be a part of the mandala, I'll ask it, do you want to be a part of this? And sometimes I'll have a yes, sometimes I'll have a no, and the things that say no, I'll leave alone. Sometimes I'll follow just the pattern of the trail along the meadow, and sometimes I'll just kind of do a zigzag. I happen to notice a lot of the spring weeds and medicinal weeds and rosettes of the wildflowers popping up, and that was really calling to me. I was feeling that the meadow was coming alive again with the first signs of spring. So that's what's reflected in the mandala today. I always say thank you for every plant that wants to be a part of the mandala that will come back with me, offering that bit of gratitude for the moment of communing with the meadow. I find this particular space in the Wildflower Center in the Savannah Meadow so special. There's so much sovereignty in this meadow is that it is what it wants to be. There's not a lot of typical formal gardens where you're pruning something and kind of like forcing this beauty or someone else's version of beauty on the meadow. This space is what it wants to be, and that is so beautiful in itself. Similar to the mandalas, it is what it is. It just shows up how it wants to be. I first started this in my own backyard and walking around my neighborhood. So finding any pocket of nature or green space that you can and just begin developing that relationship with that place and sitting with it, visiting it often, seeing the subtle changes, and ask permission for what you want to take and just begin to create with the earth. At the very end, I will collect the material and give it back to the earth, sometimes composting it in a compost pile, or in this case, returning it back to the Savannah Meadow. So I'll just spread the plant material and then offer my gratitude. I like to leave a little offering. A lot of times that's a strand of hair or sometimes a song to the meadow, but always in deep gratitude.